Live. It's now Wednesday night here at COP15 at the UN Climate Summit in Copenhagen, and we've got precisely 2 days left to save ourselves from ourselves. Tonight's show is the Skeptics Stupid Show, or the Stupid Skeptics Show, depending on how you want to call it. And we're going to be joined by George Monbiot, who we love dearly, and also the author of this great book, new book. He's going to be talking about his book, which obviously I've read from cover to cover, as you can see, completely brand new. And we're going to be speaking to some people who completely disagree with the skeptics, and they think climate change is happening, mainly because it is happening to them. If you want to take part in the show at all tonight, just tweet, call, email, website into any of these number of addresses, and we'll read you out anything good that you send, particularly if it's proper skeptic stuff, like it's all natural cycles and all that stuff. We'll definitely be reading them out. Now, unfortunately, our resident expert, Mark Lynas, is locked into the negotiations tonight, right now, and so he can't be here. And our replacement resident expert, Nick Seton, is locked out because he hasn't got the right pass, so he can't be here either. But never mind, we scoured the building to find somebody who knew what the hell was going on, and we found Cindy Baxter.
Good evening.
Hi Cindy, how's it going? You're from Greenpeace, I believe?
Yes.
And how long have you been following this business?
About nearly 20 years, since I was there at the Climate Convention.
You mean COP1?
No, way before that.
Before COP1?
Yep, COP1, before COP1, COP1, 2, 3, 4,
wow.
8.
We're now on COP15. So you should know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Glad to hear it.
Yeah.
Let me just recap very quickly what the sprint is. That's for you to hold.
Okay, great.
Basically, the sprint is the deal that we are trying to get here at Copenhagen. This end of the sprint of the running track is no deal at all, complete failure. This end of the running track is climate safety. That would be really fantastic. And along here are different kinds of deals that we might end up with. The suicide pact, that's any deal that basically commits us to runaway climate change, where we hit 2 degrees, enter runaway, then it's about over. The coin flip deal is the one that would give us a 50-50 chance of hitting 2 degrees and runaway. And a good chance is basically better than 50-50. And as you can see, not many people are even trying for the good chance. So Cindy, give us some detail of what's happened today.
Okay, so first thing this morning I got to work and we discovered that these guys, the US, had been delayed the talks for about 10 hours. I don't know whether to turn them upside down or what to do, but like honestly, they
having a little sleep.
They were having a little sleep. They delayed the talks for 10 hours. They did their own little deal with the chair, and then of the talks, and pissed everyone off. And basically, the whole thing's fallen apart. And we've actually gone back to Kyoto. I don't know how you're going to do that, but we've gone way back to 97.
Oh, so before the deal?
We've gone
before
back
Copenhagen?
Before Copenhagen. We've gone back way back to the Kyoto Protocol, which was 97.
And should we really be moving all of these people back here?
Well, no, some of them would go with them. I think New Zealand and Australia would definitely go, but I want to say something more about these guys. New Zealand and Australia...
You're a Kiwi, am I right?
I'm a Kiwi. New Zealand and Australia...
Of that right now?
Not particularly, because they have spent the day and the last 2 days trashing the small island states. Tuvalu, who have been leading this show, they have been fantastic. They've been pushing for the strongest possible deal, but actually you don't have Tuvalu. So I've made my own Tuvalu, and I'm going to put Tuvalu out here.
You rock.
Okay, so they've been trying to kill Tuvalu, so they've been shit, basically, these guys.
So Australia, how far back are they going?
Well, a good way back, basically, because that's good. Okay, and the EU's sort of been going a bit like this today.
Round in circles.
It's a bit confused. It doesn't quite know. He made a very good speech.
Did they?
Made a very good speech.
The leaders are here
Carlgren,
now. Some of them are leaders.
The head of the EU.
Right.
The Swedish minister, Carlgren, made a speech. But he was trying to look good, but he didn't quite say how good he was going to be. He said he might be good at some stage in the future. So, yeah, he sort of went round and round. So I just leave them there going round. Yeah, no progress, really.
We'll animate that later, so it can go round and round,
And Japan don't quite know... Well, everyone else thinks Japan's going to give a lot of money to all the smallest island states so that they can deal with the sea level rise and all that. But they still haven't come out with it.
Okay.
So I think they've just gone down here until they know what actually they're going to do. Because someone said they're broke.
Right.
They haven't got any money, but Ivo, the head of the meeting, seems to think that there is a chance they're going to.
Why are they leaving it so late? There's only 2 days to go. If they're going to announce big money, why are they not announcing?
Because they're doing a you first thing. They go, no, you first. No, go on, you first. No, you first. No, you first. Why don't you go first? If you don't go, I won't go.
Right. Okay.
So there's been a lot of toy throwing out of the cot this week. So
right. Okay.
That's what's been going on. Yeah.
Okay.
So I think that's pretty much everybody today. Yeah, I mean, New Zealand and Australia, I just want to say a little bit more about my own country.
Yeah.
John Key doesn't have a target. He doesn't want to cut emissions.
Yeah.
He will only cut emissions if others do. He's not going to cut emissions on his own.
Yeah.
He'll just do it if someone else does it. And then he's going to...
What sort of emission cuts is New Zealand talking about?
None really.
None, great.
No, none
The
really.
EU's on 30%, UK's on 30, 40, aren't we?
Well, 10 to 20%, but only if other people do it.
Right, right.
So it's not really...
And 10-20% is well within the suicide pact anyway.
Yeah, I know.
It's not even getting towards climate.
Yeah,
so useless, in other words.
Yeah, he's worse. But then he's been calling Tuvalu extremists.
Because they want a good chance.
Because they've got a good chance of going under.
Yeah, yeah.
So that's the extremist thing. So, yeah, and so the Australian government has placed a story on the front page of the Australian newspaper today going, well, the guy who's running the Tuvalu delegation is shit, and basically they've been actually trashing the Tuvalu guy.
Right.
So
I think we're going to move them a wee bit further back for that.
I think we should.
Media attack.
Fallen off.
I think that's quite symbolic.
Seriously, I can't believe you haven't got Tuvalu.
Sorry about that.
It's like
we have now.
They've been the heroes. They're my heroes.
Good. Yeah. Thank you so much, Cindy.
It's my pleasure.
We might have to call on you again tomorrow. Same time,
I haven't got anyone else.
Here's Cindy, and I'm going to give you an update now from the rainforest because we heard last night. We thought it was the rainforest expert Danilo Molokoni, who is negotiating for Papua New Guinea. On the rainforest deal, and thought it was all signed, sealed and delivered, ready to go to the next stage to the ministers, and then it suddenly got unpicked. He tells me just a half an hour ago, everything is stopped. We do not know when it will start again. We are really close to a failure, but I am still positive as the text that we have is not bad. So we've gone from nearly triumph on forest to pretty rubbish, basically. So we're going to go to our next Rhyme Time interview. And this one with everybody's favourite environmental writer, George Monbiot, talking about skeptics. Hello, I'm here at the Climate Camp Cafe in the centre of Copenhagen because this man could not get into the Bella Centre to the COP15, despite them letting in any old body dressed up as trees and polar bears for the last week or so. And I am now toe-to-toe with George Monbiot, and I brought with me a big gang of my skeptic friends. Most of my friends are climate skeptics, of course, and they're going to challenge George to try and bat away their arguments. Oh, I don't think they can. I don't think George's got hope in hell again. Right, first one. Okay, so maybe the Earth is heating up, but it's always heating and it's always changing, and because it's natural cycles.
Well, there are natural cycles, but what the evidence shows is that the current warming is being driven by greenhouse gases.
No, it's natural cycles.
Well, yes, they're natural cycles as well, but that's a noise, and through that noise we can detect a signal. And the signal shows very clearly that the rise in temperatures over the past 100 years or so is a result of rising greenhouse gases.
Climate change is caused by sunspots. Now, I don't have a clue what that is or what it means, but I completely believe it.
Well, it has in the past been partly driven by sunspot cycles.
Which is what?
But it's the solar cycle is the formation of sunspots and then those sunspots disappearing again. But at the moment, that cycle is completely out of sync with the rising global temperatures. So it's if that were to be the driver, temperatures would have to be falling very rapidly at the moment. They're not.
I can't understand anything about that, but you seem quite posh. Therefore, I don't believe you, and I believe the internet conspiracy theorists instead, paid for by fossil fuel companies.
Stand aside and take your point. I have nothing to say to that.
30,000 climate scientists signed a petition saying that climate change is not man-made.
They weren't climate scientists. Anyone with a science degree could sign, and in fact, a whole lot of people without science degrees signed. Someone even signed in the name of Geri Halliwell.
Who's Geri Halliwell? She's a top climate scientist, I've heard.
Ginger Spice.
One of your key pieces of evidence, you climate people, is the hockey stick graph that you say goes along like this, temperature rise, and then up it goes at the end, and that's what proves climate change. But it's been completely discredited.
Well, there are about a dozen hockey stick graphs. Only one of them has been seriously questioned. And even when that was questioned,